And we're back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of The Good Thing. My name is Stefan. I'm joined by my co-host Jens. Jens, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. I would say rather normal. Nothing
Not bad.
special.
How do
Yeah,
Germans say
not
they're
bad.
having a great day? Yeah, exactly. Germans say they're having a good day by saying, it's not bad.
Yeah. Did you see the landing page from Sentry?
Is it new? What did they add?
You know what we could do today, just as a fun thing, because just for the audience, we're currently heavily thinking about the topic of landing pages. Can you bring up the landing page? We can go through some landing pages and we can discuss them if they are good landing pages, if you like.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, one sec. Let me.
Stefan and I, we haven't planned this. I just had this idea because this morning I was going through some landing pages to see what's going on, and
Let's start with
yeah,
Sentry.
so yeah, reload it because I think it's so cool. Yeah,
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah. Okay, go back up. Code breaks. Fix it faster.
Look at this though.
Application monitoring software considered not bad by 4 million developers. So I'm wondering, is Sentry only used in Germany?
No, this is actually quite good. Like, it's kind of weird. We've been doing so much research on landing pages, and they all typically are very similar. Big hero, subtext, two buttons, try for free or explore the documentation, and then kind of like a diagram or something that works. But this is really creative right here, by the way. You see how it's like when you hover over it, you fix the code?
Yeah, that's funny. But you know the like one thing I was wondering about landing pages is, so you have a call to action right at the beginning. You have try Sentry for free and you have explore the sandbox. So I'm just wondering, if you read the hero, are you already in a state where you would like to try Sentry for free, or is it not? Like, wouldn't the next logical step to be to explore the page more, or how do you think about it?
Yeah, for me, whenever I'm like looking for a new solution, like obviously I take a look here first and then I start to scroll down. And so here right away they have the trust. So I'm like, okay, wow, GitHub, Disney, Atlassian, Slack, Lyft, Instacart, Cloudflare, Cursor, they all use Sentry. You know what's funny though about here being Cursor is they have Disney and Atlassian and all of Microsoft with Cursor. Like Cursor is exploding. People are putting it on their logo wall if they can. That's insane.
Yeah.
But here, the trust is important. But this is where it kind of tells you what it does. This is where I'm figuring out, okay, is this what I need? What do you think about it?
So I was looking at the designs and the illustrations of Sentry, and I'm just wondering, like I don't know, for me it's too playful. I for something that finds bugs, I'm not sure. I think it's too playful, but it's taste probably. What's your opinion?
Well, it's right here. I think who they're appealing to is developers. And developers are a little like on Easter eggs, quirky, and they like to be playful with stuff like this. So that's why they put the not bad. That's the way I read it as. And then here, when they're talking about the important stuff, tracing, code coverage, session replay, error monitoring, this is very geared towards developers. So I think that's why they're kind of going the playful angle. What do you think?
So in this view, I think there's too much going on. I don't know. Somehow I try to focus on this fire thing. I'm not even seeing immediately the stuff outside, so I'm not sure how good that page actually is. Like
Yeah.
obviously it's made by people who are super professionals, and it's probably better than everything I could build. But yeah, we can later look at our, let's roast our landing page at the end, because our landing page is also, it has many flaws. But first let's roast other people, right?
Yeah, we can roast it and praise it though. So I do love the design. I love the 3D aspect of it. It does have that playfulness. So thingamajig, doohickey, whatchamacallit. But then it starts to break. So it gives you the four biggest use cases: error monitoring, session replay, code coverage, and tracing. And then it starts to go into them. So now I think this is towards the business. Prioritize what matters. Triage issues based on impacted customers. That's pretty useful.
Does Sentry have measurable improvements? Like, does it somewhere say like some KPIs? Can you search a bit for like improvements or something?
So here's the improvement of critical issues, but like poor performing API calls or database queries.
It's too small.
Yeah, there's not one that says like, right here, straight for the developers, more custom fruit or social proof,
Social proof, trust.
compliance, updates. Yeah, you're right. It actually doesn't
I
have
think
like.
what's missing is like 40% less bugs or faster improvements, or I don't know, something.
What's crazy though is they do over 100 million in revenue. I think they're very geared towards the developer first.
Yep. Let's take a look at Prisma.
Oh my god, I'm
Pri-
gonna roast Prisma.
Prisma.io.
I don't know if we should do Prisma because I don't think even I know what they do anymore. Okay, 1 second. Let me get them.
There's an Easter egg. Like
Okay, so okay, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So Prisma, when I used it, was an ORM. Now they're pivoting from idea to scale. Simplified. What does that even mean?
ship production apps at lightning speed and scale to a global audience effortlessly with our next gen serverless database. You know what I think what is the problem? So from idea to scale simplified, it means nothing. I don't know, like if I read it and I don't know what is the product, and then they say next gen serverless database. I think the hero should be next gen serverless database.
But what
This,
separates
this but this is the hero, right? The next gen serverless database.
Yes, but I feel like they're trying to be like a super base here. They got the green going on now, right? And it's what is super bases from building a weekend
Database.
ship to millions.
Yeah.
They're I don't know. But I think you're right here. Like also if you look up here, Prisma Postgres is now generally available. So that's what they're trying to sell now. This should absolutely be.
Yeah. There's one problem I have with this whole hero. So for many conversations, and again, like our landing page is also bad, but what I heard from many people is that the landing page, it should have an action. So for example, the hero should say, I don't know, build apps faster or something. And from idea to scale simplified.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard for me to connect this to just the database.
What's interesting here though is like the single call for action is getting started for free. I don't know. For me, I'm not sold on that. Also, right here, like they just have logos going across. But what I've heard before is like you need to say like what the logos are doing. So trusted by tells you that they are customers. Used in production by, okay, those are my customers. Or it's used, or at least they're using it in production. When you have an empty wall like this doesn't tell me anything.
That's interesting. Okay, scroll a bit because there's good stuff actually. So one thing I like is how they tell a story as you scroll. I think this is a very good thing. So we built something truly unique. First of all, I think I would not make it about us. So not we. I would make it
Oh,
about the user. Like you can build something truly unique, or yeah,
yeah,
it's not
build
about
something
Prisma,
unique.
huh? Yeah,
Yeah, you're
build
absolutely
something
right.
unique.
It's
Yes.
something that you, with the power of Prisma, can build something unique. I also agree with
Yeah.
you on that.
Okay, then get the database in an instant. That's good. I understand it. Redefine how your database works. Okay, that's about the ORM. We know it. And then, but you know what's interesting? No, go back. So redefine how your database works. On the left side, they show me the ORM. Then they have a little label caching, and then on the right side they have unikernel powered.
Who cares?
I really don't understand the message. Like, absolutely not. You know, I think what they are trying to say is they can completely change my workflow based on the unikernel technology, but they make this a little link, and it's a sub message. I don't know. I think I would make this unikernel thing more prominent, because maybe that's the real game changer, which I'm not sure if it is, but
By the
yeah.
way, guess where this links?
Guess where this links? It looks
Yeah.
like an external link.
Yes, but it doesn't even link to a. If you look down here to the left, it links to a blog post. It doesn't even link to its own landing page. I feel like that's kind of weak.
Okay, it should definitely not be an external. It should be a yeah. You know, if you click on product, or can you have a product? Yeah, here it should say unikernel powered serverless database.
Yeah. Manage Postgres for global workloads.
Okay, scroll a bit more.
This is interesting though.
A collaborative console experience for your team. So find many, it has more latency, the rest is green. I think this is very useful. Get AI powered recommendations to optimize query performance. This is very good.
Do you know what's completely missing though from everything? Where's the business value? Like, okay, a collaborative console experience for your team, but what does that do? It helps us find queries that are lower performing, which translates to what business value? I haven't seen anything here on the business side.
I have one comment on this. So they have Prisma Postgres.
Mhm.
I can use just Postgres, right?
Yeah.
So my biggest question is, as a CTO, why don't we just use AWS RDS?
Yeah. It doesn't tell you too. Like it says, we built something unique. Here's why for a CTO. It feels like magic. What does that mean? Like, how does it feel like magic?
Yeah, you know, I kind of, I think I understand what you're saying. So your kind of thinking is, okay, this is all nice, this is cool, but why do I need it? What does it give me?
Yeah,
Right?
there's no like proof. Like my biggest problem with this landing page is okay, there is no social proof here. It's just a bunch of logos. It doesn't say used in production by. It doesn't tell me what business value that I'm going to get from it. And then down here is way too low. Is boom. There's the social proof. This should be much higher. I don't understand there, but all these points that they've shown me doesn't tell me any of the business value. Okay, so it how we work with the database, like for example, this one. So you're running on bare metal servers, okay, here to our global edge network. What does that translate to? That means that your users are going to get access to whatever they're looking for faster. So your website's going to be faster. If you're an e-commerce website, it's going
Lower
to need
latency.
lower latency and everything. Like, okay, what does that mean to your customers? Well, lower latency, that means that the website's more performant. They're most likely to buy more because they can go quickly to the shopping cart. We've seen it with eBay and our case studies. But where is the business value of what Prisma's redefining? You know what I mean?
Can you quickly hop to our landing page? We will not yet talk about it. I just want to point one thing out, because we have a quote on our website from eBay, and that quote, it is so good because it has super important elements.
All right, let's jump into WunderGraph. Can you see it?
Yes. Go to
Don't
the quote.
don't roast anything yet. We'll save it till the very end.
No. We're doing it. We're roasting later. Okay. Here from eBay. Our investment in WunderGraph's highly performant open source platform will help boost eBay's API ecosystem, so it's technical, and enable our teams to work faster and smarter in building products that help our sellers thrive. So he is able to, in one single sentence, he talks about a technical solution that enables people to do something faster, but not just inside their own company, but actually the customers of eBay. So he's able to talk about like the improvements within eBay, but also the improvements for, like, he links that to the customer. And so even if you're a non-technical person, you will read this and you will see, oh, this makes the sellers thrive. Okay, that must be good, even if you don't understand what an API is.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think the full quote, by the way, is on the customers page. Oh no, we clipped it. But I totally agree with you. I have some feedback on these, but let's jump away from ours for now, and then we'll get back to roasting it. Let me
Yeah.
share one that I think you don't like, but I think is amazing.
Oh God.
You think it's a little bit, I don't know. You'll see when I bring it up. Hold up. Here we go. Okay, for those of you that don't know, this is Planet Scale. It is they used to have a complex a complex landing site, and then they completely stripped it out. I think it's fantastic, but I will let you go first, Jens. What are your initial thoughts on Planet Scale's landing page?
Okay, let's look at the hero. The world's fastest and most reliable relational database. It's a bold statement. It's a very bold statement. And then the next thing, then there's a blurb, but somehow visually I skip this because in the next blob, in the next paragraph, there's a link and it says our blazing fast NVMe drives unlock unlimited IOPS. Blah blah blah. Okay, Planet Scale managed. Then they link to performance, so they are probably able to prove this. They link to Vitesse, and they show our technology powers tier 0 databases. Okay, click on tier 0. What is that?
Did it change the page? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Straight to a freaking case study. Cash App.
Cash apps. Okay,
Here.
go back. Go back. So from the design, you would say, holy shit, this is ugly, right? But at the same time, who is the target audience? The target audience is people who want a relational database that speaks SQL, and it needs to be scalable to the point where nobody else has scaled databases. Will database people, will they like flashy diagrams or a terminal style website with hard facts? Like these people, they look at query, explain query and things, so they look at terminals. I think the only thing to convince them is does it scale? And here we have Slack and others, and
look at this though.
yeah.
Like you said, like, so database people, I mean, they're all about sharding, performance, scaling it out. And I know Sam, he has crazy experience, but when you buy Planet Scale, you're getting the technology and the expertise that ran and scaled YouTube, the internet's #2 site, and the team that scaled GitHub to over 100 million users globally. That's a very bold statement. That is some big social proof.
You know, like I have some feedback actually. Maybe I guess
I like this one, so we'll agree to disagree. It's Sam. Sam.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing.
Ooh,
but
okay.
my feedback for Sam is this. I know Vitesse. I understand what it is. It might take a little bit of time until everybody at this page understands what this is Vitesse in a very professional way. And not everybody knows that Vitesse was actually built by YouTube to sustain the scale of YouTube. So what I would make more like, I think I would build a bigger hero, and I would say something like, everybody can now use the database that was able to sustain YouTube scale.
What about this? Did you see the change page? So he has it on a separate one.
Yeah,
that's cool, by the way, that you said it though without your stuff, Jens.
No, but YouTube took MySQL and they built this sharding layer on top of MySQL, because MySQL eventually you have too much data, so you need to split your data into shards. And essentially, like Vitesse, it is an orchestration layer to shard your MySQL database. It has some trade-offs, like you cannot do all operations that you would do with a normal relational database, but you can shape your schema in a way that it works with shards. It was developed by YouTube, and it's an open source project. And I think PlanetScale took over the project, and I think they run this on Kubernetes or something. Now it seems they also heavily rely on bare metal to improve performance. And I really like the company. I really like what PlanetScale is doing. I think the customer base is probably very narrow. Like, not everybody needs PlanetScale. Most people are like PlanetScale. They are smaller, but I think the page is good. Can we scroll a little bit and see a little bit more?
Yeah, so this is where they start to kind of unlock, like, for you, from a developer point of view, would you say, like, in the database world, that performance is probably the most important, or do they just maybe go in order here? So they start with performance, and they start pitching their new product, which is PlanetScale Metal, and right away, because they just kind of we were talking about this. It's like the cache warmer. That's crazy.
The diagram is great.
That is an insane diagram.
By the way, our cache warmer screenshot, it should be on our page.
Exactly. This is, I mean, performance. Boom. Here's how Cosmo. This is actually great. We can take some learnings from here. But look at this. They put right away performance. They tell you what it does. They have this like, you can't even argue with this screenshot. That's pretty insane. And then they have a customer quote with it, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah. I can you scroll a bit more?
This is where they talk about Vitus, by the way.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Scroll
cool.
more.
Oh, by the way, it's a single page application. So whatever you click on, it just routes you to the thing, which is cool. Okay, This is important. So uptime, they offer 99.999. Damn.
Well, do you know what that means?
Oh, I don't have the calculator, but all I know is it's like minutes.
It's crazy.
A month. So what is 99.999 in a month?
That's a website, like I don't know, nines.com or something.
Let me see.
I'm not sure what the URL was.
Okay. What's the calculator? So it was 99.999.
It's so funny when you say that to German.
Oh my God. Okay. So daily downtime available is 0.86 seconds, weekly 6 seconds, monthly 26 seconds, yearly 5 minutes, quarterly 1 minute and 20 seconds. That is some crazy uptime. Holy crap. How are they able to? I don't even want to ask. And they also have
they need to do a lot of testing and everything. So it's a lot of work to do this.
All right, well done. And then here, okay, so now we're down to the cost. Oh, bring your own cloud.
I think it's good. I would say my number one point that I think is missing. I would go more on the point that running Vitesse yourself is very hard. And just use PlanetScale with this with the SLA. But yeah, overall, I like the page. It's good.
Okay, your turn. What landing page should we look at next?
Okay, go. So I want Vercel and Retool. Vercel, you need to go on an incognito because otherwise you might log in if you have a Vercel account. It's a bit weird because Vercel it forces it brings you immediately to your dashboard if you are using it.
Wait, so if you do Vercel/home, this is their main one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's vercel.com/home. All right, so of course you have the iconic triangle. Okay, well, let's start. Your complete platform for the web.
We should also roast SST.
Yeah, we definitely will. So we'll go through SSTs. We can even go through Apollos if you want.
Okay. Your complete platform for the web. So it's not active. It's not doing something for me. Vercel provides the developer tools and cloud infrastructure to build, scale, and secure a faster, more personalized web.
Ooh,
I
I
would
love
say
the
it's not bad.
start deploying, get a demo. Okay. And then here. So they go straight to social proof. So AI apps, web
No.
apps.
It's not just social proof. It's they immediately go to benefits. Runway build times went down from 7 minutes to 40 seconds.
Oh,
Reduction 95% reduction in page loads. Go to web apps.
I didn't notice, by the way. That's 3 different companies: Adobe, Chick-fil-A, Neo.
I think this is amazing. Like at the very beginning, like if you are a business person, you know what is a website, and Vercel gives you all these benefits.
These are some crazy ones too. This one's interesting, how they saved 1 year of developer time. But look, 100% uptime during Black Friday. Even if you're a business person, these are very important.
I just have one little thing.
Which one?
You need to click on all these buttons to actually find all those benefits. I'm not sure if that's so good. I don't know. Can you not show more of this without clicking?
You can if you go to resources and then customers. But again, you still have to click through them, and then you can get the full case studies.
Okay,
I mean,
go
wow.
back to home.
They've got some great company logos. And then here, get started using our pre-built. Okay, now they have the AI. So this is with V0. But you know what I'm kind of confused about? If I wasn't a developer, like if I was a CTO, I kind of still like, and I haven't coded in a while, I don't know if I would understand it yet. Like I'm still kind of a little bit fuzzy. Like, okay, so Vercel is a tool that helps me make my website faster. Is that what I'm getting at?
No, it's your complete platform for the web. So you just need Vercel and you can build a website.
Okay, and but is there like a WordPress? Does it like provide me like the templates? Like, how do I actually build the website?
You
You know what I
pretend
mean?
to be stupid, right?
That's yeah.
Like,
I'm trying
dude,
to.
it's just Next.js and yeah. So
But if I showed this to my mom, I don't think she'd understand it.
okay,
But
your mom probably doesn't need Vercel.
yeah, very true. Okay, so get connected deployments, developer focused. Ah, the collaborative feature. We always have some thoughts on this. This is interesting. What do you think
Yeah,
so far on this
collaboration is
part
cool.
right here? Let's do these
Yeah,
two
from
parts.
localhost to HTTPS, that's good. I understand. You make a Git push, it builds and deploys. Great. Every deploy is remarkable. Chat with your team on real production grade UI, not just designs. Yeah, that's cool. Privacy friendly, lightweight analytics. So we get analytics with the extra benefit being privacy friendly. I mean, okay,
By the
it's
way,
good.
do you know what I've noticed about the website?
Hmm?
Like, look how snazzy and smooth it is. Like, they're doing a testimony of their website already by having a really good website. You see this?
Yeah.
It's quite sexy. All right, instant rollbacks.
Go ahead, deploy on Friday. Yep. Move fast, don't break things. Yep.
And then scale your enterprise without compromising security. Deploy once, deliver everywhere.
Yep. Okay.
Overall, I like their website. I think it's fantastic.
Yep. I think and this is something I would say this you can see it with bigger companies. If you are smaller, you're more active in the hero. Like do this or like deploy faster with Vercel. But
Yeah.
if you are so big as Vercel, if the brand already is so strong, then you go back to what they are, your complete platform for the web. And I think you can only do this when you are big enough.
I actually think there's some other cool ones that we can go through. But all right, let's Vercel was good. Let's do Retool.
I like retail,
You like
the
Retools?
website. No, not the tool. I've never used retool, but I like the website.
Okay. I love the hero, by the way. The best way to build internal software. Right away, it tells you what it does. So it's at the bottom. Seamlessly connect databases, build with elegant components, and customize with code. accelerate mundane tasks, freeing up time for work. I actually don't love this part. I do love this part.
So the best way to build internal software. So first of all, I immediately know what they do.
Yeah.
Also, this dashboard on the right, it supports this. So
Oh.
I immediately know what they do. Scroll back up.
I didn't know it moves.
One problem I have is the best way to. Everybody can say that. Like, how do you prove it? And then seamlessly connect databases built with elegant components and customized with code. Accelerate mundane tasks, freeing up time for the work that matters most. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a bit weak. You're right.
I think it's weak. Obviously, then you have the 2 buttons, but I think this is super powerful. Sometimes I hate websites like this, and sometimes I love them. But okay,
One comment on the hero.
let's go back.
Would you say the book a demo is actually invisible?
Yes, and also what I've noticed is since it's to the left, but this is moving here to the right, it kind of distracts me. You see what I mean? And this looks a little bit, yeah. Okay, so could use some work. And then that's just one scroll, by the way. And then
The
it says,
transition is cool.
but it doesn't tell me. It just, okay, so you can build apps. Okay, you can build workflows, database. I can build mobile apps. Is that what it's saying?
You know what is my problem? And that's funny. So I was scrolling because I thought apps, workflows, database, and mobile, I thought this is actually just text. I didn't think about I could hover it.
Oh.
Go back up and scroll. No, don't move the mouse somewhere else.
Okay, so just
Scroll and scroll further.
Oh, yeah,
You
you
see,
just,
I didn't even notice that you can do this.
yeah, it's kind of, huh. Okay,
You're smarter than me. You hover that.
And then here, okay, so you got social proof, but again, it doesn't. I mean, they got some great logos though. DoorDash, Wiz, Volvo, Pinterest, Snowflake. Jesus, they've got some great ones. And so, okay, so why Retool? So it's built for developers. Connect to anything with a REST or GraphQL API, or choose from 7 integrations. Securely share resources and queries across the team. So the integration part.
Do you know what completely distracts me here?
Is it this?
It's a logo.
Oh, SAP. That's terrifying, to be honest. Yeah.
No.
Next. Okay, so you connect everything, then you design it with 100 extensible React code, and then you've got code written in SQL, JavaScript, Python, integrate with SSO role base. Okay. Debugging. This one's a little bit weak. Review. That's interesting. And then deploy. And you're busy by anywhere. It's kind of cool though. I like it. I like their little flow that they have here.
Yeah, it's cool. Also, when you scroll, you can just scroll through this.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, okay, now use cases. So if you want to build an admin panel, if you want to build Gen AI apps, if you want to build the SQL dashboards, workflows, partner portals, and then compliance. This is pretty cool. This reminds me of Miami. Gives me Miami Vice vibes.
Yeah.
Overall, I like their page. I really like how it tells the story. Like, sure, it could use a little bit of work, but I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. I have a little bit of fear because I think Retool is I think it's a bit in danger because I think with the right prompts, many of these things you can cursor today, right?
I would also say so. It could be a little bit fearful. I have one, by the way. I don't. Oh, go ahead.
I just saw someone talking about this on social media. They were using Retool, and they found it a bit complicated to do something, and also a bit expensive. And they just prompted cursor and built an internal tool, deployed it on Vercel, and Vercel gives you authentication. Now you don't need this stuff anymore. What do you think?
I also think it's going to feed into our next company. I don't know if you've ever seen their landing page, so it's going to be a surprise, but I think you're absolutely right. Have you ever heard of
Apollo?
No, this one. This one's
We,
interesting.
we have to roast Apollo.
Of course, we'll do it after this one. But I love their landing page. It used to be super cool. I think they might have changed it a little bit, but have you ever seen post hogs?
No.
I still don't understand what they do. Okay, so
okay, it's actually cool because I don't know the product, so we can now try to figure out what it is.
Okay, you just go through it. So hero text, talk to me. Like, what do you think of it so far?
How developers build successful products. Okay, that alone, I'm not sure. The single platform to analyze, test, observe, and deploy new features. Is it like feature flags or?
Kinda. So they offer a platform that does all of it. I feel like this should be first, right? And then this could be second. A single platform to analyze, test, observe, and deploy new features. This is how developers build successful products. What do you think?
Product analytics, session replay, experiments, surveys. You know what I think? Is this a venture-backed company?
Yes. They are venture backed.
Where are they in the journey?
Series B.
How long do they exist?
3 years? 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. You know what I instantly kind of feel? To me, it feels like they started somewhere in the corner and they expanded into everything. And now, product analytics, session replay, experiment surveys, product tours, product roadmaps, web analytics, messaging, heat maps, no code A/B testing, LLM observability, prompt evaluation, prompt management. It feels like they are doing a little bit of everything.
But did you notice, by the way, what it says? So it's the single platform, and then it literally shows you the platform.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the platform.
It's the tool.
Okay. These folks, by the way, I love this little Easter eggs here. These folks build products users want with post talk. Look who they put them. They put themselves. I kind of love that.
Okay. Y Combinator. So it's a YC company, right?
Yeah, it's a YC company. But then they have Mistral, they have Airbus, they have DHL, they have Hasura, Raycast. They don't, when you look at it though, they don't have any old modern enterprises. These are all pretty, like Raycast is a startup, Hasura is a startup, Airbus is probably their biggest one, Mistral AI is still a startup. But you see what I mean?
Yeah. But
By the way,
the next title, it's already it's putting me off. 10 plus products in one.
wait, this is so funny though. Product engineering has never been so lit.
But you know what I don't know, but to me this feels like they got funding or something and the market was too small where they started. I think postdocs started in analytics or something. I'm not sure. And then
100%.
they expanded into everything and I'm not sure.
No. Okay, so you're not sure on it, not sold. Probably doesn't do well in Germany. Here we go. Okay. So wow, they give it to you right here, everything we needed to find out. So we ship weirdly fast. They joined YCW 20, so winter of 20. They launched open source analytics, 1,000 stars, iOS, Android, React Native, feature flags, offsite in Italy, heat maps, segment, 33,000 stars, post hog, the platform, ClickHouse support, session replay, raise Series A. Wow, so 2020. This is kind of cool. Series B. Are they on a Series C yet? Jesus Christ, they do ship pretty fast.
But you know what I'm wondering? Why is this on the landing page? What do I have from it as a customer?
So they're telling you how they, using their product, have shipped fast. Here's everything that we've shipped fast. You can do it too if you use our product.
Okay.
That's kind of the story that I'm getting, okay? And then boom, SDKs for web and mobile. They like to play on the modern stuff, Stranger Hogs, The Crown, Those are like modern shows. Code examples. Here's what you can do with postcog. So I would say it's like, oh, this is funny. You will hate Postlog if you enjoy jumping on a quick call with sales. If you love needlessly wasting company money, we only have usage-based pricing that decreases exponentially with scale. You'd rather buy before you try. We offer a free tier so large that only a fraction of our customers pay us anything. Even worse, we are continually trying to reduce our pricing. You think your email is a good trade for that free white paper. Press Control W now or ask your network administrator to close your window. These are actually pretty freaking good.
You know what is cool about this? They do objection handling right on the landing page.
Exactly. Like you would rather give out your credit card details to strangers. Like you're desperate for commitment. Sorry, we don't offer annual commitments unless you ask for one.
I really like the how do you call it, the hawks, the pictures.
Yeah, they're really good in like their animation. Like you like buying a whole product test suite to get access to one tool. This is quite good, by the way. If you think CSMs are your friends, honey, those emails are automated. The customer success manager. I actually love this. You enjoy sitting through hours of training more than using your product. No training is required to use Postdog. They do quite good here.
Yeah.
Okay, overall though, there we got some customer proof. But overall, like being your first impression on Postdog, what do you think so far?
I think these guys are engineers, and they are engineering a little bit too much. I think they should be selling more. You know, one thing I learned from someone recently is if you sell to C-level and you make it so engineering styly and you make it like here stars on GitHub, open source and everything, like C-level people might be thinking, if it's open source, is it actually good? Like I want proprietary enterprise software. I know it sounds weird, but some people are put off by open source and stuff like that. I mean, you can still make it open source, but does it need to be like this on the landing page? And
So
does C-level, do they care about how much you ship or what problems you solve for them?
the thing about this is I know they do good in revenue, but they're geared towards the developer. I like them though. I think they do a good job. But overall, I wanted to show that one. And now we're going to jump into a really, really amazing one. Honestly, probably my favorite. API orchestration for the cloud native world. Okay, and guys, for all you guys sticking around, like, yes, we are roasting landing pages. We're also praising them, but we will be roasting our own the same way that we are doing these. So stick around till the very end because not even our landing page is safe. If you want,
ours is really bad, and I'm very responsible for that.
Okay, but let's start off with this one. First, some praise. I love the little background, how it moves. I think it gives it off the space Apollo-y, but I'm immediately thrown off by this. Buzzword, the cloud native word, buzzword API orchestration. I don't know what it means. And then this. Whether your team is new to GraphQL or seasoned experts, learn why Apollo is the fastest and safest way to build and scale your APIs. To be honest, this could be the hero. Apollo is the fastest and safest way to build and scale your APIs, and then social proof. But I think that they put themselves in a box with this as well as with this. What do you think?
So, not sure if you know this, but cloud native is a term. It comes from the Kubernetes community. It is a few years ago that we heavily used the term cloud native. Like, I don't know, before WunderGraph, like when I worked at Tyke, like my when I was at T-Online, for example, how many years is that ago? Like 5 to 7?
1 million.
I think like 5 years ago we used cloud native much more. These days, not so much. Like my standard reaction, like this is not just roasting Apollo, but I said this to all pages. It is not active. API orchestration for the cloud native world. It is not active, and I think Apollo has not as strong a brand as Vercel. Like everybody knows Vercel. Who's Apollo? Like I don't think so many people know Apollo. If you ask people about Apollo, many people think you mean Apollo.io. This
Yes.
thing where you can you can, what does it
Like
do?
for finding emails,
Yeah,
sending
finding emails, stuff like that.
sequences and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
for like salespeople.
Well, one thing I find interesting is they brought back the term GraphQL. For quite some while, the term GraphQL wasn't really on their landing page. Now it's back. But I also find interesting. I mean, we don't have to go into too much depth here, but they're not even making like GraphQL is not in the hero, but the company name is Apollo GraphQL. You know what, Stefan? Have you ever wondered why I didn't make GraphQL part of the name WunderGraph?
No, I didn't. Why didn't you?
Really not?
Like I always wondered it. So I think the reason Apollo does it, Apollo GraphQL, is for SEO, like just so that they can pop up when everyone words it. But is it so you didn't have to compete? Why didn't you make it in part of the word?
Yeah, just for everybody. So I started WunderGraph kind of alone. Not super successful, but what are you saying?
I was gonna put like a little like the world's smallest violin, like started it all alone.
Okay. No, but I started it alone, and then I didn't want to tie the company to a technology. So I like the idea of having a graph, and I don't know, I somehow like the word. I wanted to bring a little bit of German into the graph, and I don't know, WunderGraph, it seemed cool. So but I didn't want to tie it to GraphQL because I wasn't sure if GraphQL would be forever, or if we somehow would exceed the GraphQL market or whatever. And so yeah. But also Apollo figured this out. So now the hero doesn't even mention GraphQL anymore, just the subtitle. Okay. So API orchestration for the cloud native world. I don't know. What is API orchestration? Do I need it? What problem does it solve for me?
Hey, by
And
the way,
then,
since you're a CEO and you're looking to buy a new technology, what how does this stand out to you?
well, let's read the subtitle as a CEO. Whether your team is new to GraphQL or seasoned experts, learn why Apollo is the fastest and safest way to build and scale your APIs. So, as a CEO, I don't know what GraphQL is. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I know what APIs are. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I also don't want to just make a stupid rant or.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite detail is though?
Yeah.
Let me point to it. This tiny little animation. Like, what is that?
it's just a cool animation. Can you click on why API orchestration?
Yeah, but if you notice, it's us chasing Apollo. You see, and eventually we eat them. Okay, and
Okay.
boom, text wall.
Okay, Matt explains API orchestration. Rapidly deliver seamless experiences with lower risk. It's very that is very business focused. Modern apps require integrating multiple APIs, but custom backend code to aggregate, transform, and deliver them slows teams down. Actually, I did an interview 2 years ago with Matt DeBurgelis at the GraphQL Conf. He said something kind of like that, and I agree with him. It's true. Custom backend code to aggregate, transform, and bring APIs to the graph. It's a burden. Apollo's declarative, standards-based GraphQL powered platform. By the way, I disagree with this. There's little details in how Apollo is not following the GraphQL spec sometimes. And for backwards compatibility reasons, they somehow are unable to remove those bugs or but nobody will know about this. You only learn about this when you migrate the customer from Apollo to WunderGraph, and you have to add feature flags so that we tell our router to do stupid things, and we really hate it, but it's okay. We're doing it. I don't want to roast Matt. I actually like Matt. I think he's a very smart engineer, and I met him in person, and he's a good guy.
Okay, let's go back to the main one because we are almost at time. So we got 10 minutes. So we'll do this one a couple more, and then we'll absolutely.
We also need to roast our own page.
Actually, that's for next episode. No, I'm just kidding. We actually have to.
No, okay. Scroll a little bit. Let's see what's going on.
Okay, social proof. But again, my biggest problem here is it doesn't tell you like who, what, trusted by. But I don't know if these are. Oh, they're not clickable. So they're not clickable. You just pause it. I think that's kind of stupid. They should link to their case studies. Thoughts?
Yeah, are all of these customers or users, or what are they?
I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest.
I know what you're thinking. It's funny, but okay, let's move on.
Okay, boom. New product. Introducing Apollo connectors. Accelerate app development with Apollo connectors. Bring all APIs together in minutes on a declarative, query-based GraphQL platform. Very technical. Power any app with real-time data. Aren't most apps powered with real-time data? And then build, debug, and deploy faster than ever. Okay, that one's interesting. And then interactive tutorial, learn more, see in action. I'm really struggling with their landing page. I'm not going to lie.
I have one thing here. Bring all APIs together in minutes on a declarative, query-based GraphQL platform. You know what? Remove query-based. Can you mark query-based? Okay, remove it and read this again.
Accelerate app development with Apollo connectors. Bring all APIs
no, just
together.
this one sentence.
Okay.
Just this one.
Bring all APIs together in minutes on a declarative GraphQL platform.
What does query-based even mean here? I think what happened is, I know how hard it is to find this right wording, but to me it looks like they put together a list of words they want to have here, and somehow they put them into sentences. But declarative query-based GraphQL platform. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't even understand what problem Apollo connector solves for me. It's very, very technical.
I know what it does. I can tell you what's. So let's improve the landing page of Apollo, okay? Like,
okay.
The real problem Apollo connector solves is, instead of writing a subgraph, you can now just write a bunch of directives to connect an existing REST API. It saves you a ton of time, and you don't have to deploy a subgraph. This should be here.
Stop deploying subgraphs. I still think it's too focused, especially towards the GraphQL space, but okay, they can deal with that. And then next, building intelligence experiences on GraphOS. Gain secured and dynamic access to any data and context using GraphQL. Okay. Build for rapid. There's their AI angle. Start with low code. I don't know, because they were saying declarative query above. Now it's in low code. Deploy fast and govern AI workflows. This also feels all over the place. Like, it's like what you said. We want to include AI. We want to include rapid. We want to include low code. ChatGPT it, throw it what it means into there. I didn't get this.
You know, by the way, they have a brand inconsistency, because yesterday they did a workshop where they say Apollo connectors is no code. Here they say low code. I think they should all agree on what they are.
I'm not. Boom. I like this. Anybody?
Yes, but you know what's funny? Can you, read this out.
Deliver tomorrow's roadmap today with Apollo.
Okay, now open konghq.com.
1 sec.
I'm a landing page specialist now.
No, honestly, we've been trying to rewrite our landing page, which coming soon, so you'll see it. All right, so here's Kong, and their hero is. It starts off with there are no API.
No, that it's not about we don't roast them, but search for tomorrow.
Like for today and tomorrow's API needs. Yeah.
Someone looked at the Kong website.
I mean, it does make sense.
Yeah, of course. Okay, go back to Apollo. We're not done. And we need to look at the time and roast ourselves. We can go a little bit over if you want to. Fine.
Yeah, all right, give it a sec. I already told the person you're having a meeting with, you'll be running late, so no worries. Where is our amazing friends? Okay, cool. So now we're back. Again, similar to Kong. Okay, this is cool animation, by the way, but it's way too fast. And it doesn't redo it again. Okay, here we go.
Oh, it doesn't.
That was cool. Okay. Define data once, deliver everywhere. Eliminate cumulative technical debt from backend from front ends or experienced APIs. GraphQL Federation provides a secure source of truth for the data that powers your business. I'm still missing the business impact. Like, okay, I get remove technical debt, but I still feel that's like too technical. Like any company that's successful, they will always have technical debt. It's a byproduct of your success. So I'm wondering, like, where is the quantifiable success? Hey, this company removed, I don't know, this much, and this is what they saved. You know what I mean?
They could do it more like Vercel, where they say, company X reduced boilerplate by 40%. That's what you mean?
Yeah, like it reduced boilerplate. Backend teams contribute to a unified and composable API. Okay, but what is the trade-off? Like, what do I do when they're contributing to the graph? How much time did they save? How much of technical debt? How many lines of code did they remove?
you know what they are doing. I mean, we understand the space a little bit. Now they are trying to spoon feed us Federation.
Yeah, I'm not in love with it. Okay, here we go. Here's finally one. Deliver features faster. Yes, but where is the numbers? They're also streamlining Federation here as well.
I like the visuals on our left side.
Me too. I like the schema checks, the workflow. This is good. Improve performance. Okay, but show me, how did you guys improve performance? This is awesome. This is really cool. Oh, that's it.
You know what I find funny about the animation on the left side?
Yeah.
They have reviews and it has this exclamation mark, right?
Okay. Yeah, so it means that it has. Where is it? Okay, yeah, I see it.
We're not clicking it.
Yeah, why are we not clicking on the one that actually has an issue?
Why are we clicking on the one that is fast? 9.8 milliseconds. Why are we not clicking on 15 seconds?
Bro, that's so funny. I just realized that. Look, improve performance across application. And then you clearly have one that has an issue, 15 milliseconds, yes. And we don't click on it. We go right past it. That's actually kind of funny. Okay, that's amazing.
Yes, but the animation is cool.
Okay, and then you know what's crazy? Like if you can see my bar down here, look how much I've had to scroll to get the social proof. Like this should be at the top. Look at these logos. Look at the names of the people. Hey, he looks familiar. There's a couple people here that look familiar, but I'm not going to say anything. This is okay. This is good. And then a lot of white space here. Isn't that crazy? Okay, that's
I think overall the page is okay.
And for those of you that are not familiar with Germans, okay can either mean really bad or really good, but I'll let you guys decide.
It's okay.
Okay, as we promised, we will also be roasting our landing page, and no, we will not be taking it easy. So let us go for the last one of today, the amazing, the fantastic, and much needed improvement, WunderGraph. So let's start with the hero, the open source GraphQL Federation solution. I don't know what that means if I was not anybody else other than myself. Okay. Open source GraphQL Federation solution. First of all, it's kind of a mouthful. Open source GraphQL Federation solution. What are your thoughts?
So if you know what GraphQL Federation is, and for some reason you don't like closed source GraphQL Federation, then open source GraphQL Federation sounds like a good thing to look into. But yeah, that is also the problem of this hero.
Okay. And then this is where it gets really funny. And Dustin, I'm sorry, but this was Dustin, our CTO, that wrote this part. But we
Which
kept
one?
it for what do you mean? Full lifecycle API management for, in
I
parentheses.
think I wrote this.
Oh, okay. It was you? Okay. So it was you. It's straight up developer talk. Schema registry, composition checks, analytics, metrics, tracing. It's a huge run-on sentence. It's basically trying to get everything into the sub hero. Apache 2.0, no vendor lock managed servers, just as much as you could squeeze in,
Yeah,
like all the benefits.
It's the elevator feature list.
And then as a like buyer, like let's say I'm a CTO or whatever, I don't know much about GraphQL Federation, but I'm looking for a solution for, I don't know, API sprawl or some business problem that I have. I have no idea if this even solves my business problem.
But
to start off
the ICP of this landing page is not what you just said.
I know what the ICP is, and we hit the ICP, but I was just saying if we're generally roasting it, not a fan.
Yeah, no, this hero is really bad. So I don't know, maybe two out of 10 points.
Okay, 2 out of 10. And then if we dive deeper, this I love. Platform engineering teams love Cosmo. Okay, so that's some social proof. And here are some of the customers. And then you jump right into what our customers have to say. I really like this. Love this quote. But as I mentioned earlier in the episode, this is what I wanted to talk about. Complex queries have seen substantial performance improvements. Cosmo plans queries in a smarter way. The innovation rate that they're keeping up with is mind-blowing. While it is a nice quote and Frederick is amazing, again, from the business point of view, what is the impact of the complex queries? That now they have a significant performance improvements. Is Soundtrack your brand, like what is the impact to their customers? You know what I mean?
The impact will be that their customers can load the page fast, right?
Yeah, but do you remember how Vercel has it? Is like, hey, Leonardo AI saw 95% decreases in, I don't know, website performance or whatever. What are complex queries? Well, how does that contribute to my customers? What are Soundtrack Your Brand's customers experiencing? So I think that's something we need to improve. What are your thoughts so far? I also like how we have the video one as well. That's cool. And then the logo. And
Yeah,
then
you're
here,
right.
this is cool, but these quotes could be a little bit better. Like, okay, a solution that is scalable and PCI compliant, migrating Cosmos Super, and it took just a day to reconfigure everything. I hope Brendan is watching because Brendan, we're gonna need your help on fixing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, go scroll more.
Here we go. Okay, so this one's all Jens's. So boom. Future of Federation, state of GraphQL Federation. As a CEO, I want people to know I'm CEO, so I put my own quote on my landing page. No, I'm just kidding. tell me about this one, Jens.
So what this is trying to do is it is trying to pitch a message that we know something about the future, that we understand the market, and we want to show our expertise, and there's a full report and you should get it. And from the interactions with this button, we know it works.
I would say that. Overall, not bad. Scroll down. Built for every use case. Well, that's a bold statement. Manage GraphQL at any scale from monolith to federation. I do like that. And then here we go into the 4 core features for our ICP. So Cosmo is a drop-in replacement to other services like Apollo Graph OS. It is the only OSS solution that bundles everything from router to schema registry analytics and tracing in one package. perfect for monolithic or federated. I actually don't mind this. This is actually like if what we're aiming for, it's hitting right on the spot.
It's precise, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's precise. I also like this animation. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Okay, nice little pop up, and then you see, and I'm gonna cheat a little bit because we have a designer that like was going through this and saying it, and like these are good, but they're too technical. Like, what does a schema registry unlock from the business? What does the change log unlock? But I think from what we were aiming to do, it does a good job.
Features that enable teams to move fast without breaking things. It's not bad. It's also not. It's not business focused enough. Schema registry, like, I don't know what does it tell you? Change log, synchronized changes, integrations, feature flags, schema checks. You know, like one thing we should actually do is, and we have learned this over time. So initially we built feature flags for one customer. They used this before. They were migrating from Apollo. They used Apollo Gateway, and they built their own feature flag mechanism into the gateway, which was pretty insane because what they did is, if you send a specific header to the gateway would on the fly build a custom supergraph while the request is in flight. Think about it. Compose the custom feature flag subgraph into a schema and then resolve it. So first of all, that was like super slow. And second, if something goes wrong in this composition, then it just wouldn't work. And also it would put like crazy workload on the gateway, because the gateway would have to do composition at that point. Composition is expensive. Like, it's a CPU intensive task. It can stop the world on a Node.js gateway for a second or two. Like, it's crazy. So we built a version of feature flags that works at compile time, and we built it into Cosmo Router. And what we have learned over time is almost every of our customers is building workflows around feature flags. It is such a powerful tool that you can have multiple versions of your graph on one router, and you can run that under feature flags. And we need to make that much more prominent, because it's such a widely used and broadly adopted feature. And here it is just a little box, and it doesn't really tell you like how strong it is. And so, yeah. And also, I think our schema checks over time, like, we have put a lot of work into this. We have graph pruning. We now have checks with proposals. Like, there's so many things. I think we should really revisit this part and talk more about what feature flags enables our customers to do and what the schema checks do. So these are, I think, the most powerful things here.
I would say that. I would agree with all that. Like, there's not really, we're talking about the customer use cases here. Like,
No.
you put feature flags in a tiny little box, but it's actually such a powerful feature. Same thing with all of these. So a lot of work to be done there.
But like, don't just put features on a landing page. Like, where's the benefit for the customer?
What's the success? Like, if we were rewriting this, I don't know, on the beach, rolled out feature flags, and they saw 68% reduction in QA time, because with feature flags, like that's what I mean. Like, where is the success with the customer? I agree. Something we can take back.
Yeah. For example, one thing we saw with schema checks is one customer was able, through schema checks, to reduce Q&A time by 30%. Because previously they had contract testing for REST APIs. With schema checks, they could remove that, and now they are faster and more resource efficient in shipping their graph and the API. So that's really good.
I like it. One other thing is, I'm going to jump real quick and come back, but this needs to be on the landing page. Planet Scale had it. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Small little improvement here, tiny little spike, and then boom.
Yes.
Fantastic. We need that on the landing page
Cache
ASAP.
warmer.
That's a huge, powerful feature, and the story behind it needs to be there. But
Yeah.
this right here, by the way, is kind of an oxymoron. Gain valuable insights into your GraphQL API, but then we don't show any of the insights. We just say it. Like, show me the dashboard. Show me the advanced request tracing. Show me the valuable insights that I'm going to get through your product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jens, don't be too upset that we're roasting the landing page. I know you put a lot of work into this, but the only way
No,
forward.
I'm not upset. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, but what's good is we do this live and then we can actually take it back. So you guys are going to see the improvements. This, by the way, I do like. Okay, so here we have some numbers, but I think it's the wrong numbers. We're comparing against the Apollo router when actually we should be talking about the P99 latency that our customers experience. What do you think? Oh, also, one other point. You're right. Cache warmer is tiny. It's at the very bottom.
Yeah, the cache warmer graph needs to be front and center. I think performance in a router is important. Can we show it differently? Yes. Is it the wrong number? Yeah, we could actually show how it improves the customer, like just the graph we just had, like P99 query planning performance with cache warmer. This is the router. Yeah.
And if we want, we can even go the route of like SoundCloud. They had I forgot how many gateways of
Yeah,
Cosmo running.
because it's so efficient, they could now run less gateways. So that's another statement. So first statement is P95 query planning time. Second statement is SoundCloud reduced gateways because they are so efficient.
Perfect. So we can improve that. Down here, 3 little features. One that we don't even officially kind of support. Definitely need to fix that there.
EDFS, why is it so small? It's such a powerful thing with Kafka and nuts and everything. And yeah, but EDFS should have its own landing page.
Yes, and same thing here. Okay, show me the organization-wide access control. Like, show me the grouping that Wilson is working on and how granular you can get. Like, role-based access control on the namespace level, on the subgraph level, on the federated graph level. Roll out your supergraph to 400 developers across your organization, which, by the way, is a use case that we have. We need to show that.
Yeah. Oh, overall, out of 10 points, how many points do you give this landing page?
For what it was doing when we needed to do what it needed to be done, I give it like a 5. It did a great job. It really did. But I think now we definitely need to improve this. Also, is it me? But does the bar lag? Do you see the bar? It just like pauses.
Your computer is not fast enough.
Yeah, it's my fault. Okay, cool. So guys, we did run a little bit over. Jens, that was actually super fun. I think for everyone that stuck around, thank you guys so much. If you want, feel free to send us some more landing pages. Send us your own. We can review those too. We're not biased. Obviously, we're gonna give ours, the full review that I got. If you saw, we were ripping into it. But Jens, before we conclude, what was your out of 10 score for the WunderGraph landing page?
Maybe 4. I think for a certain audience, it works. It definitely worked up until a Series A.
Okay, cool. So we're definitely going to be improving this. Guys, so we might have a special guest next week. If we do, the episode will be recorded. But the good thing is,
we're back next week.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Happy Friday. Oh, I almost pressed leave studio instead of end stream. That would have been funny. It just keeps recording.